I never believed in love at first sight. I believed in logic, in time, in carefully built relationships. I believed that love was something that grew slowly, like a tree planted with patience. But that New Year's night changed everything I thought I knew. The city was alive. Lights decorated every street, music floated through the cold air, and people moved around with excitement in their eyes. In the center of it all stood the New Year's tree, tall, bright, and beautiful. Its lights reflected on the snow like tiny stars fallen to the ground. I stood there alone. I had no plans that night, no parties, no dates, just a quiet walk to clear my mind. My heart felt tired, heavy from past disappointments I rarely spoke about. I told myself I was strong, independent, complete on my own, but deep inside I longed for something I couldn't name. That's when I saw him. He was standing near the tree, slightly to the side, as if he wasn't trying to be noticed. The lights danced across his face, and he was smiling, not at anyone in particular, just smiling. It was calm, real, unforced. And without warning, my heart skipped. I don't know why, I don't know how, but something inside me shifted. It was as if the noise around me faded, and for a moment it was just him and me, strangers connected by an invisible thread. I looked away, embarrassed by my own thoughts. "Get yourself together," I whispered silently. But fate wasn't done yet. My phone buzzed once, then went completely black, dead battery. I needed the time. I was already late getting home and the cold was growing sharper. I looked around, unsure who to ask. Then my eyes found him again. Before fear could stop me, I walked toward him. "Excuse me," I said softly. "My phone battery died. Could you tell me the time, please?" He turned to me. Our eyes met. He didn't answer immediately. He just looked at me, not in a rude way, not in a strange way, but with quiet attention. I felt my cheeks warm despite the cold. Then he smiled. "It's 8:40, he said. "Thank you," I replied, relieved and slightly nervous. I turned to leave. 1 step, 2 steps. "Wait," he said. I stopped. "It's dark," he continued gently. "Let me walk you home." My first reaction was to refuse. "Oh no, really, that's not necessary," I said quickly. "I live close." But he didn't move away. His voice stayed calm. "I wouldn't forgive myself if something happened to you." His words surprised me. Not dramatic, not forced, just sincere. I hesitated. Years of caution screamed inside me. Don't trust so easily. Don't invite strangers into your life. But another voice, quieter, deeper, told me this moment mattered. So I nodded. "Okay," I said. We walked side by side under the glowing streetlights. At first, our conversation was simple: where we were from, how the night felt colder than usual, how beautiful the tree looked. But with every step, something softened between us. His laughter was gentle. His presence felt safe. The silence between our words wasn't uncomfortable, it was peaceful. When we reached my building, I stopped. "This is my home," I said. He looked at me for a moment, then asked quietly, "May I have your phone number?" My heart raced. "I don't usually give my number," I replied honestly. He smiled, but there was something serious in his eyes. "If you don't give it, I won't go back." I laughed nervously. "You're joking." He said he wasn't, simply. I studied his face, searching for danger, for lies, but I found none. Only warmth. Only truth. And the truth was, I didn't want him to disappear from my life. So I gave him my number. That night, after closing my door, I leaned against it, my heart pounding. I wondered if I had made a mistake, or if I had just said yes to destiny. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. "Did you get home safely?" he asked. I smiled. "Yes," I whispered. And in that moment, without realizing it, my life began to change. After that night, nothing felt the same. We started talking every day. At first, it was simple messages. "Good morning, did you eat? How was your day?" But even in those small words, I felt something different. something sincere. He listened, he remembered details, he cared. A few days later, he asked to meet again. Near the same tree, he said, if it's still standing. I smiled at my phone longer than I should have. When I saw him that evening, it felt strangely familiar, as if we were continuing a conversation that had started long ago. He brought me hot tea because it was cold. That small gesture stayed with me more than any expensive gift ever could. We walked, we talked, we laughed. He told me about his childhood, his dreams, his fears. I told him about my past, carefully at first, then honestly. I spoke about disappointments, broken trust, nights when I cried silently so no one would hear. He didn't interrupt. He didn't judge. He just listened. And in his listening, I felt seen. Weeks passed, then months. We met after work, on weekends, sometimes just to sit quietly together, sometimes to talk for hours about life, love, and the future. I noticed how he always walked closer to the roadside of the street, how he waited until I entered my home before leaving, how he looked at me as if I mattered. But I was afraid. Happiness scared me more than loneliness ever had. One evening, after a beautiful day together, I stopped him before he left. "Why are you so serious about me?" I asked. "You barely knew me when we met." He looked at me thoughtfully. "Some people come into your life loudly," he said. "Others come quietly and stay forever." My heart trembled. Still, fear lived inside me, fear of loss, fear of trusting too much. I pulled away a little. I answered messages slower. I canceled meetings. I built invisible walls, hoping to protect myself. But instead, I hurt him. One night, he finally said, "Did I do something wrong?" His voice wasn't angry, just tired. I took a deep breath. "I'm scared," I admitted. "I'm scared of loving again." He stepped closer, gently. "I'm scared too," he said, "but I'd rather be scared with you than safe without you." That was the moment I stopped running. I let him in. Our relationship deepened. We argued sometimes, about small things, silly things, but we always talked, always listened, always found our way back to each other. Love, I learned, wasn't perfect. It was patient. It was choosing each other every day. One evening, standing under the same New Year's tree months later, he held my hands and said, "I don't want a life where you're just a memory." Tears filled my eyes. Neither did I. And that was when I knew this was no longer just a beautiful story. This was my future, with him. Love did not arrive as a fairy tale. It arrived quietly, through patience, understanding, and countless small moments that slowly built a life. After that night under the New Year's tree, we chose each other again and again. Not because it was always easy, but because it was always real. We faced challenges. There were moments when life tested us, financial struggles, family pressures, misunderstandings that left us silent for days. We learned that love is not just about holding hands in happiness, but also about holding each other during storms. I remember one night clearly. I was tired, overwhelmed. I told him, maybe love isn't enough. He looked at me, held my hands, and said, "Love is the reason we don't give up when it feels like it's not enough." That night, I cried, not from sadness, but from relief. He proposed to me simply. No crowd, no loud music, just us. We stood near the same place where we first met. Snow fell gently, just like that first night. He got down on one knee, his hands shaking slightly. "Will you build a life with me?" he asked. I didn't hesitate. "Yes," I whispered. Marriage didn't change us. It revealed us. We learned each other's weaknesses, his stubbornness, my sensitivity. We learned how to apologize, how to forgive, how to grow. Some days were ordinary, some were difficult. Some were filled with laughter so loud it echoed through our home. And some days were quiet, the most beautiful of all. Every New Year's Eve, we return to that tree. We stand there together, holding hands, watching strangers pass by. And I wonder how many lives are quietly changing in that very moment, just like mine once did. Sometimes he looks at me and smiles. "Do you remember your phone battery dying?" he teases. I laugh. "I think it was destiny," I reply. Because love found us when we weren't looking for it. Because a simple question about time became a lifetime together. We met beside a New Year's tree, and today we are living the story it began, together, forever.